We're here at Alloway Primary School and we're here with two beautiful teachers, Mrs. Park and Mrs. Wiley. Girls, I'd like to ask you a bit about the partnership that we have with Bendawi Primary School and how you think that affects and helps the children with their understanding of children's rights and being a rights respecting school, whether you think it makes an impact and how.
Okay, when I first arrived here at Alloway in 2014, I got to know Julie really well, and there was obviously a close link between the school and the church, and we were looking to develop that further through the work that the school were doing with Bendawi Primary. We were a rights respecting school at level 1, which is known as the silver level, and we were looking to achieve level gold because we'd been level 1 for a wee while, and we thought, how do we take this further? The children had a really good knowledge of rights and their rights, but what we wanted them to discover was actually what responsibility have we got? You know, what are our duties as children in Scotland, children in an area where we have our food and our right to be safe and the right to an education? How can we help children across the world gain their rights? So it really helped them build that empathy for others around the world. We started off by, Julie and I went to Inverkip Primary, who were a gold rights respecting school, and we looked at their partnership. They've got as an authority, they've got a really strong partnership with schools in Malawi, so we looked at how that kind of fed into the curriculum, how it would enhance learning across the curriculum for our children and ensure that they would become global citizens. So we then sat down, Julie, our head teacher Karen, and the head teacher of another local school down Foot, we came together to write a partnership agreement with Bendawi Primary School in Malawi that the school had already established links with, but we wanted it set in stone. And as leader of RRS, we did our first Malawi week, and that kind of built up to us gaining gold, a rights respecting school gold, where the children, it's just embedded, and it doesn't just help them have empathy for children across the world that need their rights, it helps them become better people, have empathy for each other and children even in our community. So the link has been absolutely vital in us gaining gold. And then I worked closely with Amy on developing and actually the hard bit, maintaining gold, and that's where Amy really took that on, and we thought, well, how do we ensure that we keep going with this partnership that we've agreed on, and how does we don't want it to kind of lose its way. So Amy then really pushed it forward and it remained a focus for the school, and Amy's going to tell you about that.
Brilliant. And maybe we should just say at this point, so well deserved, and all the work that went into that, well done to everybody in the school community. Absolutely.
The community of the school, not just teachers and pupils, but parents, members of the community, church. So
brilliant. Yeah,
so we've been a gold school for about a year and a half now. We'll be 2 years in June. And last summer, as part of the partnership, Julie actually invited a few of the teachers from both Alloway and Dunfoot to Malawi to visit the school in Bendawi. So I was one of the team with my colleague Nicola Rainey and the head teacher Karen, and a few teachers from Dunfoot as well. So we went over.
Can we invite Nicola Rainey in right now?
Yeah, absolutely. And you come, Miss Rainey.
Nicola Rainey, just pop your head in and say
come and say hello.
Nicola came to Bendawi. So we went over to Bendawi Primary, and the main job that we had was to kind of work with the teachers over there and take just some ideas of what we do as a school in Scotland. It was a really amazing experience, and I think it made it so much more real for the children. Like on our display you can see all the photos of when we were there, and like we've got stories about the children that we still talk about, and like my screensaver in my class is of a girl who we met when we were out there, and my kids talk about her all the time.
Just made it real for them.
It made it so much more real.
It made Malawi Week so much better. So
Malawi Week this year, we were bringing like food in that we'd had in Malawi, and the children were just so much more knowledgeable about it. And obviously as well, we have visitors coming this week. So we have the two head teachers from Bags, the secondary school, and Bendawi Primary coming to see us, which is really nice. It kind of brings that partnership full circle. But one thing that I think we have really found about the trip is that we have kept in contact with the teachers in Malawi, and we still talk like on a weekly basis. We still keep in touch and send ideas and photos and
It's
share.
good for us teachers who weren't there. We got to see the videos, the photos, and it really made us think, oh, that it's so powerful. We absolutely need to be teaching about rights. We need to be helping children. And it's, you know, although the children in our school are helping, we do lots to help the children in the school in Bendawi and Malawi, and but also they have this sense that they actually need to do something to help others, not just in Malawi, but
even having like that continued communication makes it, the children have got ownership over it, and they've been able to, if there's something they really enjoyed seeing, do you want to send that to the Malawi teachers and let them see what
and I
they're
think
doing?
a perfect example was the 2 girls that you've just spoken to. They're in P7, but they were in my class last year, and at the very end of term we were doing the puberty talk, and we talked about the fact that in Scotland, you know, the government are now giving free like sanitary products to children, and those 2 girls were like, but what about the kids in Malawi? So very quickly they came up with the idea of, well, why don't we use money that those 2 girls had raised to buy sanitary products? And we said that's a great idea, but that's maybe not the most sustainable way. So eventually we found a company in Malawi who had made reusable sanitary items, and we did a little bit more fundraising, and thanks to those girls' idea, we actually were able to take over a pack of reusable sanitary items for every single girl at Bags, which was my big thing.
People seen that here after that were like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Even when they saw the hostel, and they were like, we need to help, we need to do something about this hostel, and the children are like, yes, what can we do to raise funds? So they're so proactive, and
There's a real ownership over
it's
it.
such a sense of community here in Alloway, but it actually is so nice to have a community beyond.
Absolutely.
It's not
Yeah.
just kids that they see, but in a
that
faraway
benefits
country.
our children and the children in Malawi.
Well, thank you all. Can I just ask one final question? I'm putting you really on the spot here, that none of you are members of the church, and for you, Nicola and Amy, to come on what was a church mission, how did you feel about that?
I think we were both quite nervous, to be honest, but Julie we see all the time, and we have like a very good relationship outside of school as well, and we know a lot of the members of the church. We met up quite a lot before we actually went out, and like bonded before we went, and by the end of it we were all like best friends. Everyone came to my wedding, you know, it was just lovely. And
I feel like when the church works with the school, it's not that they are imposing their views on the children, it's actually that sort of what the goal is. It's like moral, it's like doing the right thing, and I think that's why it wasn't. It's not uncomfortable for perhaps people who aren't religious, and the children don't feel like that either. They just love it. It's a real partnership, and we've got so much out of it.
Like
But
you said, we were nervous, but I think as soon as we got there we realised we were all there for the same reason, and it wasn't about who's part of the church.
And I
and
think
who's
both
not.
of us really enjoyed the church services.
Yeah, we did.
They were amazing. It just was like, I've never experienced like an atmosphere like that. It was just absolutely amazing. I still think about it.
Just
Still
so much
get
hope and
goosebumps.
joy and things. It's
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I can't thank you enough for being part of it, and it was amazing. It was amazing for me. Even 4 trips in was probably my best. So thank you very much, and thank you for your time today, girls.
Thank you.